The report assesses the effectiveness of labor provisions in trade and investment agreements. It shows that in the last 2 decades, labor provisions have become more common and comprehensive, both in developed and developing countries. Currently, there are more than 75 agreements that include a labor clause covering 135 economies. More than 80% of the agreements that entered into force since 2013 include such a provision, and of these agreements, 72% refer to ILO instruments. An important result of this study is the decisive role of the social partners in the design and implementation of these agreements. And while these agreements have traditionally been negotiated with limited participation, there is a tendency to establish mechanisms to inform and consult the wider public, including worker and employer organizations. A major challenge is to put these mechanisms into practice. Moreover, meaningful participation requires not only access to information to be consulted, but also mechanisms to make sure that opinions are considered and reflected into decision making. There are also important implications for developing countries. Not all countries have the tradition to inform and consult the public with respect to its trade policy. Certain advisory bodies that have been established within the framework of these agreements have been rethought to improve its representativeness. In addition, worker organizations have collaborated with their counterparts in developing countries in the joint submission of petitions or in their political work. Agreements also recognize the role of multinational corporations in promoting labor standards, for example, through the adoption of standards on corporate social responsibility.